Let me ask you something that might shake you. Why is the United States, the so-called champion of democracy, openly backing a nation that harbored Osama bin Laden, fuels terror networks, and has a collapsing economy over the world's largest democracy, India? You feel that fire rising in your chest? Good. Because this isn't about patriotism. It's about cold, calculated global strategy. And if you think it's just bad diplomacy, think again. In this video, I'm not just going to tell you why America is supporting Pakistan. I'm going to expose how India is playing checkers on a chessboard, why the U.S. likes it that way, and how this game can be flipped if India wakes up. Stay with me till the end, because what's coming will change how you see international politics forever. Let's rip the Band-Aid off. America doesn't have friends, it has interests. If you're still under the illusion that countries support each other out of loyalty, shared values, or mutual admiration, it's time to wake up. The United States, like every other global power, operates based on one thing: strategic advantage. And right now, Pakistan offers that advantage more than India does in certain areas. Now, before you raise your voice or roll your eyes, hear this. This isn't about who's right or wrong. It's not about who's moral, who's growing faster, who has the better democracy, or even who's more aligned with Western values. It's about what each country can do for the U.S. agenda. Today, right now, in real time. So why is America cozying up to Pakistan? Let's get one thing straight. It's not because they like Pakistan more than India. They don't. It's because they are intuitively prone to do, and they get but Pakistan has made itself useful in specific ways that appeal to America's foreign policy goals, especially in regions where India refuses to play ball. Think about it. Despite all its problems, terrorism, political instability, a broken economy, Pakistan is geographically located in the heart of one of the world's most volatile, yet strategic regions. It borders Iran, Afghanistan, and is close to China. That gives the U.S. critical access points for surveillance, military logistics, intelligence operations, and more. Even during the war on terror, Pakistan played both sides, sheltering extremists while acting as an ally. The U.S. knew it, but they kept the partnership going. Why? Because Pakistan offered proximity and plausible deniability. Meanwhile, what is India doing? India is growing. It's a rising global power, a tech giant, and a key voice in the global south. But here's the catch. India is not controllable. It doesn't fall in line. It buys oil from Russia. It won't condemn countries just because the West says so. It doesn't send troops when NATO asks. In short, India is independent. That sounds great, right? Yes, unless you're a country like the United States, which prefers compliant allies over proud equals. So when India flexes its muscles, asserts its autonomy, and refuses to play second fiddle, Washington starts to hedge its bets. It quietly engages with countries that will say yes without asking too many questions. And that's where Pakistan steps in. Now, does that mean America will abandon India entirely? No, not even close. India is far too important, economically, militarily, and technologically, for the U.S. to ignore. But here's the uncomfortable truth. The support won't be consistent. The praise won't be unconditional. The moment India's choices diverge from American interests, you'll see the tone shift. Because again, this isn't friendship. It's transactional. Always has been. If India wants consistent support, it has to stop appealing to emotion. We're the world's largest democracy. We share common values. We're peaceful, etc. None of that matters unless it aligns with America's current goals. Global politics is not a family dinner. It's not about respect or good behavior. It's a power game, and every player is in it for themselves. So the next time you hear about the U.S. approving arms sales to Pakistan or restoring aid packages or offering military support, don't be shocked. Ask yourself one question. What does Pakistan offer that India currently doesn't? And better yet, what does India need to start doing to shift that balance? Because until India learns to play by the same ruthless rules the big powers use, it will keep getting outmaneuvered. Not for lack of strength, but for lack of strategic aggression. This is not about changing who we are. It's about realizing who they are. And when you see it clearly, the game changes forever. Let's talk geography. Because wars aren't just won with weapons. They're won with location. When you look at a world map, what do you see? Countries, borders, flags, maybe even culture. But do you know what the Pentagon sees? Access points, launch pads, gateways, choke points. And from that perspective, Pakistan is a gold mine. See, Pakistan's biggest strength isn't its economy. It's not its political stability. And it's definitely not its track record on terrorism. What makes Pakistan valuable to the United States is this. It sits at the intersection of U.S. strategic interests, bordering Afghanistan, Iran, and China. That triangle alone makes it worth watching, worth investing in, worth tolerating. Now, here's the cold hard truth. If your country lets the U.S. park troops nearby, use your airspace for drones, set up listening posts, or support proxy operations, you become an instant ally. Even if everything else about you is falling apart. This is exactly why America has kept returning to Pakistan, even after publicly criticizing it. Remember when Osama bin Laden was found living comfortably in Abbottabad, just a stone's throw away from a major Pakistani military base? The U.S. was furious, but not furious enough to walk away. Why? Because in military operations, proximity beats principles. Let's break it down. When the U.S. needed access to Afghanistan after 9/11, Pakistan opened its airspace. It allowed NATO supply routes. It gave access to roads, ports, and intelligence infrastructure, not because it loved America, but because it knew how to make itself useful. Even now, as tensions rise with China and Iran, the U.S. can't afford to have blind spots in this volatile region. Pakistan gives them eyes and ears on the ground, and that is priceless. So where does India stand in this scenario? Geographically, India is not positioned in the same tactical corridor. Yes, it borders China, and that's crucial. But India is not willing to become a launch pad for American military operations. And that's a big deal. India values its sovereignty. It doesn't want foreign troops on its soil. It doesn't hand out airspace access like coupons. It's cautious, deliberate, and non-iron lined by principle. And while that earns respect, it doesn't necessarily earn strategic favoritism. So again, what does the U.S. choose? It picks flexibility over formality. It picks a Pakistan that says, we'll cooperate over an India that says, we'll decide on our own terms. No, but from a military logistics point of view, when you need a place to land a plane, move equipment, run surveillance, or stage a counter-op it, Pakistan gets picked because it simply makes the U.S. job easier. That's not diplomacy. That's logistics. And here's where things get even more real. If India wants to protect its position as a top U.S. partner, it needs to start thinking not just about trade and tech, but about tactical, not just what we offer on paper, but what we offer on the ground. Because right now, Pakistan is playing the location game and playing it well. And guess what? The U.S. isn't going to stop using that advantage because that's how global power works. It's opportunistic. It's fast. It's all about who can deliver under pressure. So the next time someone says, why is the U.S. still supporting Pakistan? They mean, Why does the U.S. still supporting that Pakistan? You can answer it in one line, because when it comes to military logistics, Pakistan opens the door and India guards the gate. That might sting, but it's a reality check India needs if it wants to shift the narrative. India has everything it needs to lead: talent, power, economy, and vision. But to outplay old power structures, it must start thinking in their language. Leverage, geography, access. Once that mindset shifts, the game changes. Let's stop pretending. This isn't about India. This isn't even really about Pakistan. It's about China. Everything the United States is doing in Asia, every move, every alliance, every dollar spent is part of one giant, high-stakes chess match against its biggest rival, China. Now, here's the truth most people don't want to hear. When America supports Pakistan, it's not promoting terrorism. It's containing China. Let that sink in. See, the U.S. isn't dumb. They know what Pakistan has done.